Okay, so this is going to be Garmin Fenix Watch Volume 2. This is the second part of a three-part series. The first part we covered setup and getting your Garmin hooked up to your computer. In this episode, we're going to talk about using your watch and Garmin Connect to actually plot a course and then go out and follow that course. So if you're going to a strange area and there's lots of turns and twists and turns, you can actually create a course either on your computer, which is the easiest place, or on your phone, and then upload it via your phone to your Garmin Fenix. And then when you go to your to the location where you're going to paddle, you'll be able to follow the map along on your Garmin. So when you get to an area you're not sure of, you'll have already figured it out. You'll know, oh, I got to turn here, or I got to turn there, or this is a rest area, whatever. So. So when we want to store waypoints in our watch that are not along our route, we're going to use Garmin Explorer. That's a whole nother program you can download. It's an app that you can download for your phone, and it's also a website that you can go to on your browser, on your computer, and enter stuff in there, which makes it a lot easier to move the waypoints around and stuff, or fine tune it, and then you can load them up to your watch from there. You can also download available waypoints from other GPX files, which are out on the internet that are already available. And you can take those waypoints and load them into your Garmin Explorer, and then go from there to your watch as well. So that's kind of a cool benefit. When I just did the Suwannee River 230, I had a bunch of different sites in there, but even more important, when I did the Boundary Waters Challenge, that's a 240-mile backcountry paddle, and there's all kind of campsites that are available. And so instead of trying to say we're going to go to a particular campsite every day, I had like 500 campsites right in my watch. And then when we got close to the end of the day, we knew to start looking for these campsites, and it would take us right to it every time. So if you want that kind of a possibility, then that's definitely going to be part of episode 3. I bought an extra watch band from Garmin because I like the orange color. I got a lot of stuff that's orange, and it's kind of like my color. So that's kind of cool. And they have all different color of silicone bands that you can get. They also have some leather bands and stuff. They're pretty pricey, but the silicone bands really last. I've never had one wear out. I still got the black one at home, and sometimes I think about maybe putting one black piece and one orange piece on there. But also, while you're in there buying your spare watch band, get you a couple extra cables too. These things are, I think they're 20 bucks a piece, but having one for at work or wherever you're gonna maybe wanna work on your watch, and then one at home is kind of handy, one for the bedside. Also, I have one that I use on my trips, so if something were to happen to that, you know, then I still have to be able to charge my watch when I get home. So having an extra cable, I think, is kind of handy. Highly recommend buying an extra cable or two just to have them around. Okay, now we're going to create a course on Garmin Connect on a computer and then send it to our watch through our phone. So first of all, we got to call up our website for Garmin Connect, and this goes to your dashboard, and you can customize your dashboard. You can create goals. Goals don't show up on your watch, on your phone app, but you can create goals. It'll also you can add all kind of stuff to the desktop. But what we're interested in is over here on the menu, and when you go down to training, and under training, we got several different choices. We're going to go to courses. All right, and then I have a bunch of courses already listed here that I've got from other places, but we're gonna create a course. We're just gonna create a course here, and first thing it asks you is what type of course. I always take other because that's the closest thing, and then you can do a custom course or a round trip course. And we go in here, the first thing you want to click is freehand, because you're not going to be following roads. So you don't want it to try to automatically create a course based on roads. This thing's really leans heavily towards cycling and running and stuff like that. So you know, if you want to do that, if you're interested in that kind of a course, then you can do that. Usually I switch it over to map view too, because I find it easier to zoom in and out. And then we'll give it a name. This is going to be our test course. Alright. And then you can go to the map and scroll around, zoom in a little bit, and then go to your start spot, wherever your starting point is going to be. Whereas for this course, we're going to start at the shop here. Alright, so we're going to start right here. I know the shop is right about there. If we don't know for sure, we can switch over to satellite, and then I can see my little boat launch my little board launch right there. Is that it there? Yeah, that must be it right there. So that's where I'm going to start. So now I got my start, and then you can slide your thing out there, and then every time you click on the screen, it's going to add another point. You can zoom in and out just like that. And we're going to go out here to the little island, and we're going to go around the island, and then we're going to go out to our big island out here, and go around this island and back here. And then I usually like to go somewhere right about here on the way back, and then back to the creek, back up to here, and finish. Alright, so now this is telling me over here I got 5.9 miles loop right there that I just created. So this is a little bit wider than what I'm actually going to do, so I'm going to adjust this route a little bit, because usually what I do too is I come along the shore. So anywhere you got a dot and another dot, you can just go in the middle of it and drag it, and it'll change the route a little bit. You can also move these dots, and then you can also create a new dot like right in here, drag it down there, and then it looks like I'm running on top of land, so I'm going to pooch it over just a little bit right there, like that. You can also come in here and put a dot here and a dot here, and then you can drag this section like that, and it'll change that one section. So I'm going to undo that and undo those last two dots there, because I don't need them. So this is kind of just a quick and simple course that I might do. Usually I follow the shore a little bit closer here, so I might go over here like this and bring that right in there like that, something like that. I like to go into that little canal there. You see that little canal there? I like to travel through that sometimes. So that's like a nice little 5-mile loop. Now, obviously I know where I am, and I don't really need this to go here, but this really comes in handy when I'm paddling, say, the Everglades Challenge, or I'm going someplace like Minnesota where I've never been before. So I can add course points. And these course points will be somewhere along the course that I want to make a note or tell myself something. So I can go in here and I say add a course point. I'm going to call this first one turn right. Alright, so I can turn right, and then we're going to show where we want it to be. I'm going to put it right there. So that's save point right there. So now I got turn right. So if I move this a little bit, you can see you actually kind of make an anchor there when you put that course point there. And then I have another course point. It's going to be here. I'm going to call this one turn left. You can also move these by right clicking on there and going to edit, and then you can move that point somewhere else. Move it over there, move it over here. One thing I do advise you doing too is put the course point a little bit ahead of where you want it to be. So what's going to happen is your watch is going to inform you that you're getting closer and closer to this course point, and so you want to have that course point show up as coming up next. So you want that ahead of where you're going to need it. That makes sense. I'm going to do another course point out here. Whoops. Looks like I've added a finish there, so I'm going to undo that. And I'm going to put the little course point here. I'll put the name of the island there. Or this is going to be a rest stop or a resupply or whatever you want to put. Like that. And on and on. You can have this be, have one be right here. This is Tavernier Key. And then you could have one be right here. I think this is called low point. Alright, when you get done, or if you got a big course, I periodically save, because then you can go back in and re-edit. If you do have a problem with your internet connection or whatever, it will just lose everything you did, and sometimes I've spent hours and lost it. So I periodically go through and save the course. So you go in there and save it, and now it shows up like this. Okay, so, whoops, test course. So it's trying to follow the road, so you always got to uncheck roads and go to freehand so that you can move stuff around. So then you can just move it around like that, and you can resave it if you like, or if you don't want to keep it, you just undo that one, hit save changes, and you're back out. Another thing you can do is use one of your activities as, save one of your activities as a course. So say today I did this activity right here. I'm calling it up, and there's the activity. Let's see here. You can show the laps. All right, and then we can go right here to our little gear in the corner here. Save as course. So we save it as a course. We give it a course type, which is other. Continue. And then freehand, we're going to call it Islamorada. It's already got a name, Islamorada Sup. So we can save this new course. All right. Now, one of the things I do, actually, before I go too far, I'll go back and edit this. One of the things I like to do when I'm creating a route off of an activity I did is straighten all the lines out. You can see here that I kind of paddled a pretty squiggly course today. That's because the wind was really hard and it was blowing me around a lot, and I was messing with my camera, so I kind of changed my angles and everything. But to clean it up a little bit, I can place a little dot there by clicking, and I can go down here and click here and place a dot there. And I can just take this middle dot here, zoom it out just a little bit, take this middle dot, and I can just kind of go like that. Whoops, it tried to follow roads. So you always want to click freehand so that it doesn't try to follow the roads. And there we go. Now we can just straighten it right out. See, now I got a nice straight line from that peg to that peg. And then I don't have a peg down here yet, so I'm going to put a peg right here. And I'll straighten this out a little bit. Kind of like, sometimes it doesn't work. There we go. So you kind of get the idea. It's also going to recalculate the mileage based on that. But that's a great way of cleaning up the route a little bit, so that when you look at your watch, you're not seeing some squiggly line. You'll know exactly which direction you need to head when you're using this for navigation later on. So then I can save changes, and then I can also export. I can download the GPX file. So when we download the GPX file, what we're doing is we're going to export a file to our computer that we can share with other people that have Garmin Fenixes. So if you have a friend that's going on the same trip and they want to follow along on their watch, or if somebody's going on a trip and you've been there before and you want to show them the route, you can email them this route. We're going to call this Isla 2. It doesn't really matter what you call it. There we go. So now I've sent that route to my desktop. All right, so if we go over here, and if it's back to my dashboard. Okay, so I'm another person who's opened up my dashboard, and you've emailed me this file that I downloaded to my computer. I can go into my training thing over here and click on courses, and then I'll go down here to import. Right here is import. So hit import, and then you're going to get a dialog box that says which file do you want to import. You browse that and you go to the file that you downloaded, double click that, then hit get started. It's going to bring that right into Garmin Connect, other for your course type, and then bam, there it is. So now I can send this course to somebody. They can change the name of it, they can call it whatever they want. All right, save new course. So if we ever get separated, we both have the route right on our wrist, on our watch, and we'll be able to trace the route. This comes in real handy also if you're going places where you don't know where you're going and you want to send a copy of the route to somebody else so they can find you as well. So that's another way that you could use this file. Next, we're going to talk about how we get it from the computer through our phone and then onto our watch. Okay, so if we just go into our I'll just close that right there for now. We go into our phone, just close that like that. Go into my phone, I'll look at my Garmin app. There's my Garmin Connect app. All right, same thing if we go under, you know what, I've moved my courses right to here. So I got, your default location for your courses is going to be right up under here under training, but it doesn't show up on mine because I've actually moved it to the front screen here. So I have a shortcut down at the bottom for courses, but yours will show up under training. So there's the courses we just created. There's a test course right there. You can see there it's already in my Google my Garmin account. All right, and if I want to send this to my phone, my watch, all I do is go up here to the three buttons, hit send to device, and then select the device. And now it says the next time my phone is synced, my watch is synced, then the course will show up in the watch. So let's go back to the watch. Let's go back. Let's sync up one time. Here we go. We're going to sync. Force it to sync like that. All right, should be done. So now I go to my watch and say I'm going to go paddle. I hit my SUP button twice. Up arrow for options. One time for courses. There's test course right there. It's already in my watch. Boom. Just like that. Do course. So now I can press my start key. You can already see that it's telling me how far it is to my next turn. That's because I have it set up that way. So that's one of the other things. I have my map set up where it says my next course point is on there, and then it will actually, once I get going and once I get on course, it will give me a mileage to the next one. The other thing I have set up for my navigation is my navigation screen. I have a full eight fields on that. I've got the time up at the top. I've got the distance. Got how far off course, what's the distance to the next, which it says 0.11. The name of the next, which is turn right. My ET at the A at the next, which I've found that's not very accurate. I don't think it's accurate at all. And then my last lap speed and my average speed. So those are the kind of things that I look at when I'm out traveling. You know, when I'm doing my Everglades challenge or whatever, I want to know the distance. I want to know how far off course I am. I don't have to always be on course, but I don't want to be too far off course because I know that my courses I've designed to be as efficient as possible. So if I'm not on course, then I'm probably taking a longer course than I need to. But basically, that's how you get it from your phone onto your watch. Now, if you want to get rid of it, you just go, same thing, go to your courses, and then I'll go to the test again, test course, and then I can go right here to delete, and I delete it, yes. So, that's about it for that. Oh, one more thing, when we're setting up our courses, when we're in a course and we're running it, that's when we can hit our We can change our display, so we're going to press and hold our left-hand side there. And we can stop course. We can go to navigation settings. This is where we want to go to navigation settings. Data screens. We want the map on. We want the guide off. Elevation plot off. Screen 1. This is where we can add the screens for our layout. And then each field, you can go in there and pick whatever you want for the fields. Like I said, I like to have distance to next and what the name of the next waypoint is. It's also going to show up on the map as well, but on the map is here we got map on, and I got data field down here. I got data field turned on, and so that's how that shows up there. So that's pretty cool. The guide thing might be pretty nice. There's also a virtual partner that you can have that you can, like, quote unquote compete against, but I haven't found that to be too beneficial for my purposes, so I don't use that. But that is available as well. There's lots of stuff on this watch that you can do that makes it very versatile for different athletes using it for different purposes, and I just encourage you to play around with it. Check it out. Don't be afraid of it. Try to learn a little something every time you use it. That way you're not trying to learn it all at one time. So that concludes episode 2 of our 3-part series on Garmin Fenix setup and use in the field. Episode 1, we covered basic setup and what to do when you get the watch home and how to get it started and how to play around with it a little bit and what the settings are. This one we went over how to use the Garmin Connect app to create routes and put them into our watch so we could follow them, or we could share them with our friends so they can put them in their watches. Episode 3, we're actually going to learn how to put waypoints in our watch that we can use that'll be points outside of our routes that will show up anytime we go through that area. Again, this is helpful if you're going to have an area where there's a lot of campsites. You don't know which site you're going to have. You're not going to go to every site when you're routing through. You're going to stay out in the middle of the lake, but you want to know at the end of the day where the closest campsites are. So this way you can have those be all set along in your watch, and then when you get to the end of the day, you can just start looking for a campsite, and they'll show up, and you can use it to guide you right to that campsite. That came in real handy for us in the Minnesota Kruger Challenge. It's a 240-mile lake-to-lake race, and there's lots of campsites. I had about 500 campsites stored in my watch, and so at the end of the day, whenever we needed to stop, we could just look for where the closest campsites are, and then we go to those campsites, and it just made it really easy to navigate in a place that I had never been before, and that the person I was with had never been before, and we didn't have anybody to tell us where to go. I downloaded all those sites off the internet, so there's information out there that you can get a hold of that you can use to make it work. Thanks for watching the 3-part series on setting up your Garmin Fenix. If you got a lot of value out of it, we'd appreciate it if you gave us some thumbs up on the video down below, and also subscribe and hit that bell button so you get notifications of any future videos that we put out. And then remember also, paddle yourself to a better place today.